Hey, how's it going, you guys? Admiral Tori here, and welcome aboard for another video on my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking about the Winter 2017 update with me and this channel. Before I can talk about that, I have made a video in sometime August talking about how I'm going to have to focus on school, and just now, I am finished with the school semester and left with a 5-week break. And in this time period, I plan on doing a lot of videos. I'm trying to finish my Fallout 4. I'm actually committed to finishing that Let's Play because that Let's Play is almost 3 years old, I think. And Call of Duty with maybe Oblivion. Probably not on Oblivion. I'm going to stockpile with Oblivion over the spring semester. Now, before I can talk about more specifically with my channel, I'm going to talk about the project. If you watch the video in August where I mentioned about cutting down my videos over the school semester, I referenced the project. So, I joined the engineering junior competition for electrical engineers, computer engineers, and computer science, and I talk about how I was going to build a processor that will be programmed to calculate the elevation for the guns. It was inspired World of Warship specifically. Came up with the idea to build a gunfire control system, a very rough, rigid gunfire control system idea. But as the semester progresses, and I started way in the beginning of the semester, we're talking about the projects that are usually done on the last month of the semester. I started almost 2 months to 3 months before the competition idea, before they have completely officialized or submit your ideas. I have already been working on it, and I was working around the clock all semester for it. And the results was that it was half and half. Okay, first things first, I did not win, and the reason why is because it wasn't because my project wasn't good enough. It was for the reason that the judges had a hard time judging because we got so many students from different levels. We're talking about like entry level sophomore, freshman, compared to someone like me who is a junior. Supposedly it's a junior competition, but I'm actually more towards the senior aspect of my level, almost a senior actually in terms of classes, but I do have senior amount of credits as a university student. So it was very tough to judge, and we got different types of fields. You got the computer engineers with very programmable stuff, while the electrical engineers, they have like more on the outside appealing type of project because you got wires everywhere and all the cool stuff. It was a very cool competition, and I was shooting to win. Unfortunately, I didn't make it at all, and the reason, I can see the reasoning through it because, like I said, it was very tough to judge since there's so many levels. But most of the lower caliber students, if I put it that way, or the lower end of the spectrum, received the awards, and it was for the reason of encouragement, which I definitely support, because engineering is a field where a lot of students feel discouraged, if I put it that way, because when they first get exposed to all these stuff, they feel like they're not making any progress. So majority of these students who actually made it to the top are usually the sophomores or possibly freshmen, while the juniors like me, or if you can say with the credits I have, senior, didn't really get the rewards. I mean, we got honorable mentions, which one of them were a junior or senior. I don't know what level. I know one of the colleagues from me, she was definitely at the same level as me. She got the honorable mention, but honorable mentions are just paper rewards, while the top 3 get cash to take home and split with their teammates. So I've been working around the clock, and the best I can do was build a processor first and then program the processor to sort a list of scrambled numbers. Now, in terms of theory and information and the study I had to put into it with the work and coding and all the this was supposed to be like a team project, but it ended up being a solo project for me because it's not the competition was optional for me. Okay, I can sign up for it, and it's mainly because of a class. Now, I didn't take home with nothing because number one, I was given a nice incentive to just at least participate, and if you win, you get a nice grade for that class. But majority of the time, you are required to join the competition if you're in a laboratory, which I wasn't in a laboratory. But nonetheless, I might as well try and get some sort of point. I was hoping to take home $500 in first place, or at least some place, so I can buy some stuff for my computer, but I took home nothing. But at the end of the day, it was it's one of those motivational projects for myself good. If I don't know what's self benefit. Yeah, I think that's the word I'm looking for, but it's for my own benefit. It was something that I always wanted to do for my computer engineering experience, and it was worth it for me. It was work that went unrewarded, but in the sense of measuring my achievement, it was beyond my expectations. Now, luckily, the great thing about being an engineer is that I can take this project and continue with it. I can't just completely scrap it, because the problem with my project, aside from the rewards being picked to encourage the lower entry-level students, this project can be used in future project that I can apply more towards. And the other problem with my project was that it was too much information, if I put it that way. It wasn't applicable to what most people are looking for. So when I say applicable, it's something that you can physically use in the sense of messing around with it on the outside. It was basically, my project was all about the inside rather than the outside. We got people messing with controllers, you got rotating things, pressing buttons. Well, mine didn't have that. I just programmed the processor, run it, and show that these scrambled numbers were sorted, and that was it. Now, of course, if it was measured by work, I can guarantee you right now I did a lot of work for the project compared to others. I can definitely guarantee it with the concepts. And the judges, which they all have, I'm assuming at least they all almost have a PhD. One of them almost has a PhD. It was a graduate student, but the other two had a PhD. They understand that my project was all about information, knowledge, and the combination of a collimation of all my knowledge together, while on the outside, people who haven't taken certain classes to understand this just see it as a diagram and just putting things together, which was fairly difficult. So project wise, to me, it was a success. Did I get what I wanted? No, but it was a fun project, and I definitely enjoyed the competition, look around, see what people have. But it's going to be something I might build in the future with extra things that I want to do, like do something with a monitor or a keyboard or something. So yeah, project, that is the end result. So moving along with the channel. So I am going to try to finish Fallout 4 as stated. I plan on trying some other games. I want to play Rage. I might get Wolfenstein: The New Order and do some Let's Play on that. And what I hope to do by the end of my break is to stockpile as much videos as possible with my Let's Play. Yeah, because when spring comes, I know for a fact that I'm just not gonna spend as much time for YouTube at all. So I'm going to try to stockpile as much videos as possible, and then add a little sprinkle of World of Warships in between, and then figure out how often I have to upload the videos. So for the channel, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more fun things with videos. Now, I do have a very small side of me that I want to do some videos, and being YouTube, you could post anything, but it's the question of how many people are interested. But yeah, the thing I'm going through my mind right now is to do some extra things with my YouTube channel that deals with real life stuff, if I put it that way, not just gaming. I might do some sort of teaching, because I always want to teach things, and one of the things I plan on doing is to teach people how to program in C. And the reason I say that is because, one, I like to teach, and two, I am preparing for my classes for spring, and I need to learn how to program in C. I only know how to program C++, but C should be very similar, and I'm trying to review, or at least learn as much as I can before I start my next class prepping for the semester. If you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, Don't worry. My only concern is that, you know, being a gaming channel and people just looking at me, why is this guy uploading such complicated things? Start a new channel. I personally don't want to start a new channel, and since I am a small channel, it shouldn't hurt that much. I hope it shouldn't, and hopefully it might make it as interesting as possible. It might be, some people might be interested, maybe not. If not, I hope someone has the intelligence to just not click on the video and say, oh, why you upload this video? This is not what I'm interested in, when you just click on the video as if you were interested. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm thinking about it. Maybe yeah, maybe not, and then do some other videos. I don't know. There's plenty of things I always want to do with this channel that I haven't gotten a chance to get around, get to do it, since I'm always around it with all the other things. So I'm planning on doing something with that. Now I want to end this video with, I guess, a story with what happened recently with my life. So to end this video, I guess I could talk about what happened to me, which kind of made it rough for my project at the same time. So I put in a lot of time with the project, okay, and something happened that really set me back with the project. And what happened was that my car got into an accident, and for a person like me, I really do love cars. I jump around all the time. I look around all types of cars. I'm not, the person who just focus on one car. I just like cars in general, whether they crappy or good. I'm sure all of them have their own quirks. Now, what happened? So, upsettingly, I got myself into an accident where it should have never happened. The person who hit me pretty hard, roughly 40 miles per hour, what he claims. Now, translation to standard international units, that's 60 kilometers per hour. And that's what the person claimed. And the problem was that it shouldn't happen because he was drunk. If he wasn't drunk, this would have never happened. And yeah, people are like, oh, okay, this is just a car and it can get replaced. But then you take it from the perspective of a person who likes cars, and the car I was driving was almost as if it was a dream, because I always wanted a new car. The problem was that I am in school working on 2 degrees in the engineering field, which means that I find it very difficult to maintain a job, because I tried it before and it ruined my grades. Like I barely passed the semester. I was just working way too much with trying to keep up with time and trying not be too stressed out. So the quality of, keeping with school was just going down. So I stopped going to work and quit, which means that I can't make money to get myself a brand new car. Now my father bought me a brand new car because I was already 4 years into the university, and at some point I'm going to have to move out, most likely, because in Nevada and in Las Vegas, it's not really geared to the field of engineers. There are engineering jobs here, but not that are appealing to me, at least. So he thought that it was time that I deserve a new car for going this far into school, because a lot of my friends that I've seen, or at least back in high school when I got my driver's license, they got themselves a nice Honda Civic or a Mustang. I don't know, whatever car they got, it was really nice, and I was stuck with my truck, a Toyota Tacoma. For my international viewers out there who don't know what Toyota Tacoma is, it's just a small truck, okay? I had the small truck version. Nowadays they make big Tacomas. Basically, it's like the Toyota Hilux. So yeah, it's a nice truck. I like the truck. It's not like I hate the car to death. It still runs. It's reliable. Surprise, surprise, it's a Toyota. It's not like it has been abused a little bit. It's very rough on the edges, and it is a working truck. My cousin used to drive this truck before he got himself a different car, and it was sold back to my father for me to inherit. So this truck has been with us forever. I mean, way back when I was little. I remember this thing being on the front lawn of our house before the HOA came in to tell us to move the truck off the lawn and park it next to the side. It has battled through the 110 degrees Fahrenheit summer, translation 50 degrees Celsius, It has been through the winter. It sat outside. It has been worked with. It has hauled some stuff. Man, this thing is still running. It doesn't have that many miles or that much, in terms of abuse with work, but it's been through the environments. It's been through a rough time, and it drives a little bit rough at times. So when I got myself a brand new car, and the car I got was a dream car, the car I really wanted, it was the 2017 Volkswagen Golf. Now, I know some people out there, it's like, oh, you bought a Volkswagen, it looks boring, it's a boring looking car, or why you buy a Volkswagen? Well, you know what, it's the car I like, okay? So the point is, that car really was something to me, and I had it for 3 months. I had so much fun. It was a manual transmission with the color of white, and that was very rough to find. It's tough to find a manual transmission with the color white in the United States. I mean, the dealership get less than like 5% manual transmission into a lot. There was one day that it just happens to be there, and we got it at a reasonable price, and I enjoyed it every single bit until the day I got hit. The damage was 40% of the car cost. I got rear-ended pretty hard. The muffler was broken, the bumper was broken, the C pillars, I think that's what you call them, the rear part of the hatch door had to be replaced. It was bad. The total damage was $8,000 out of $17,000 of the car's value, and that's out of the door was $20,000 with the taxes and all that registration stuff. But the car was $17,000. It cost $8,000 to fix, and it's devastating. And yes, it's fixed. It's just body damage. Chassis isn't damaged, but it's damaged, and it's upsetting to get a car that was brand new and was all perfect just to find out to be hit in the rear pretty harshly by someone who decided to be irresponsible and drive drunkly. So most people, people look at me as like, man, this is an entry-level car. It's just a Volkswagen Golf 2017 base model. Who cares? It's just a car to drive from point A to point B. And your problem is that I really do like that car. I know how many people who like their cars, but I've seen people like whatever cars they like, and everyone has their own taste in cars, same way as people have their own taste in books or movies, or I don't know. So it was sad. I was pretty sad. I was somewhat to a level of being angry, the fact that after all these years the day had come to get a brand new car just to be toasted by some guy who decided to think that drinking and driving was a great idea. So now I'm stuck in a situation where, what am I going to do? Now I got the car back. It still drives perfectly fine, but for a person like me, like I said, if you talk to any car person or car guy, they know the mark is there. It's nowhere near perfect, of course. And yeah, it's not like I'm like going to go crazy about it, but it's just upsetting. Now I have plans to potentially sell my Volkswagen Golf if someone buys it, if hopefully someone buys it on Craigslist for a price that I like, and then down the road I'm going to save that money and buy myself a Volkswagen GTI, an upgrade possibly, or maybe get myself a brand new Golf. Well, the GTI is a Golf, so that's what I have plans for. And to make up the difference of money, being in the United States of America, there's this thing called lawsuits. I mean, the United States have how many people, all the lawyers in the world, what percentage of lawyers live in the United States or at least come from the United States? I forgot the number, but it was pretty big because you can practically sue anything for money. I remember a McDonald's customer who burned her tongue. I think it was a female woman. She burned her tongue because the coffee was too hot, and you can feel the coffee was hot, but being in America, there was no label on it to say caution. Nowadays everything says caution, so you can't be legally responsible for it. But when that happened, before they had the labels, the case was settled and she made several millions of dollars, I think. So yeah, I'm going to file a lawsuit. Of course, we're going out through a lawsuit. The guy was DUI, so it's automatic win for me. I did suffer some injuries. I had to go see a chiropractor every week, but hopefully once things settle down, we can figure out what to deal with. I mean, I still have my truck. It's still waiting outside. I joke with my friends saying that, you know, maybe my truck, my Toyota Tacoma, will outlive my Golf. And guess what? It really did outlive the Golf. That truck is surely a legend. So, aside from that, thanks for watching, guys. And hopefully we can have a really nice winter break, do some videos, and I'll see you guys next time on this channel.